Dunkirk.
Yeah.
We just went and saw it. Opening night.
Fuck yeah. Being all current and shit. Look at us,
I know.
man. Being all current.
It's like we're a real YouTube channel.
I know, right?
Almost.
Almost. This motherfucker. Man. It's pessimistic.
I think it's gotten to like a big fucking
not
husband and wife
pessimistic.
argument like right before this little discussion. But as for the film, one of you two start. I want to know because we haven't really gotten a chance to talk about it at all.
Yeah, no.
We had a few
I
comments.
was saving my shit for,
Yeah,
you know.
I was a little bubbling over a little bit there with some comments, but not too much.
I feel like Mason's the most calm of all of us right now.
Yeah, I
so
feel like
I
Most calm?
I got
Yeah.
this and you might get mad at me, so I have this feeling you didn't like the movie.
That's not true at all.
Okay.
I liked it a lot.
I can never gauge with you.
No, Mason
like
just
we'll watch a
has-
movie and you're like,
I just have
that was great. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
wow.
no,
I thought you
Mason
were
had
like,
the same reaction. We
I
just
have-
have
I
no
thought you wanted to
emotions.
smash the screen with a rock.
resting dick face.
No,
all the
yeah,
time.
we just have like no
But,
emotions.
That's
when we
not
do it.
true at all.
No.
No, I liked it a lot. I'm not quite the history buff that you are. You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
think you need
it
to
doesn't
be.
quite reach me the same way it does for you. I thought it was awesome. There was a lot of it that I liked. There very little dialogue in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, overall, but most of
Yeah.
that was replaced with really good like musical scores, which
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really good.
Right. Yeah, that constant.
The classic Nolan approach
It is.
to it.
Yeah,
it's
the
very-
like
very-
the ambient noise kind of thing, you know.
Yeah,
it's
very
really
very
cool.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
One thing that I realized at the end, I appreciated that Tom Hardy was in the movie, but they didn't overuse him.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't have known throughout the entire movie that it was Tom Hardy until
Yeah.
the ending of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that.
Yeah.
There was a lot about the movie. I
Yeah, it
liked.
wasn't about Tom Hardy.
No, yeah. But
Or Cillian Murphy, for that matter.
right, and there are other directors who would have exploited that.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
and they have.
Depending
Yeah.
on what they were going for, you know, like they weren't going for star power. This was this wasn't a dialogue.
It was a very
movie.
quiet movie.
Yeah.
It just kind of brought you along for the ride, and you experienced it how you would experience it, and no one told you how to feel throughout the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean,
No narration.
no
or
narration.
monologues.
It was all organic
It was,
reactions. And,
There was just like at the beginning, it was just like a little bit of like a guideline.
Just kind of
Yeah.
setting you up for like
Yeah.
where they are
Yeah,
and why
exactly.
they're
hey,
there.
this is what's happening,
Yeah.
and then it just drops you into
Yeah,
the middle of it,
exactly.
literally the middle of it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
no, I loved it. No, it was really good.
Yeah. What do you think, Kevin? Like, what? I mean,
Um,
obviously, he covered some of it.
Yeah. I thought it was great. It was like another Nolan movie, a classic. I just love it, and his approach to telling story is always one of my favorite things about him. In the movie itself, there was just so many. There were three particular chapters or characters or cast of characters or whatever you want to say. There was like the guy stranded in Dunkirk. There was like the ship captain and his son and his friend, and then there was the pilots.
Right.
You know, and so you know it shows you like
That's
each
the
point of
timeline.
it shows you each point of view at a different time in the events that happen and that unfold, which was fantastic. And you like kind of don't know what's happening until like near the middle of the movie where they start like portraying that or like showing up in each other's timeline kind of thing, which was I thought was great filmmaking. Great filmmaking.
Masterful.
My favorite of any of those shots were like the pilot shots, all of them. The aviators, the RAF shots.
How
looks
did
like,
they shoot that?
Yeah, like the ocean. Looked so legit, by the way. It was great. And then they, like I don't know if they took because it doesn't look CGI.
No, it doesn't.
It looks like it doesn't even look like practical effects or anything. It looks like they took a plane and filmed it when they were like
Flew around with
Yeah,
the
flew
camera.
around with it. So I was like that. I appreciate that. It looked great. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite war movies.
Agreed.
And you know, if anyone's out there that's like a history buff or just like war films, this is definitely it. It showed you like the true grit and like dirtiness of war, not like trying to glorify it in
Zero.
any way.
Yeah, there's no nationalism or
Yeah,
glory
none of
or
that. And it's
anything.
just it's very weird. You know, honestly, oddly enough, I just realized this: you never see a German soldier.
I was just gonna bring
Till
that
the
up.
very end.
To the very end, yeah, to the very end. I was like, it's fucking weird, you know.
Well,
like-
that was partially
Yeah.
just because of what Dunkirk. They didn't attack them.
yeah, exactly. But and it's just like, it was like for Nolan to do that. I felt like he was trying to go for the uneasiness because like you don't really know who the enemy is or you know whatever.
They were
That
scary.
opening-
The
yeah.
Germans were scary. Like
Yeah.
those Stuka bombers and
Yeah.
the noise. They like I don't know if you guys. They put the little sirens on
Yeah.
on the wings, the inside wings of their
Yeah.
planes.
Yeah.
The Germans on their Stuka dive bombers.
Yeah.
So that sound is artificially created by
to
it's
create
a psychological warfare.
Yeah, to create fear.
So that's why they sound like that.
Yeah.
And like there was just something about that sound, man, when they come down.
Really
It's
good.
really scary.
There was one thing that stood really out to me that I just wasn't sure about. I didn't really like it. Near the end there, when Tom Hardy was like floating around in just the air for like a good 15 minutes, I was like, "What the hell is happening?" I was like, he had like no gas, and he was just like his rotors just stopped moving, but he was just floating. So I don't know if he was like in a I don't know the aerodynamics or whatever.
You don't fall out of the sky.
Yeah, I was like, but he just was gliding for too long, and not only was he gliding, but he turned his plane and attacked another German incoming pilot or fighter. I'm like, what the? I was like, okay, that's a little weird. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a scientist by any means, so I don't really know how the physics works behind that. But that just looked and seemed a little weird to me. That's all.
The editing was weird because I feel like they were showing it go.
Yeah, go past the
left,
captain. Yeah.
And then I feel like he flipped around.
Yeah. That looked weird because like the captain turned his head and he heard like the German fighter drop down from the sky on his right.
I think he just came right in his way.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know. That's what I assumed.
Yeah, I don't know, but. Yeah, that was the only weird part to me. Everything else was masterfully done.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah, it looked really good.
It was great, yeah. But what do you think, Ian?
Well, we pretty much covered it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I didn't know what you guys thought about it the whole time.
Yeah, I thought it was like it's not... I may sound like such a douchebag right now, but I thought it was better than average movie. In fact, like, just a really, really good movie, but not in, like, that upper echelon, like, just... fucking like Godfather movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought it was
I
thought it was a great movie.
It was the same Private Ryan.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna say. I was like, it's right there though, like just right below.
Yeah, I don't know that in 10 years we're gonna be talking about this movie. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like, I don't know if that's the case.
I liked it, and I will probably rewatch it again once or twice. You know, and it's just
it's a movie that needs rewatching because of all the timelines.
Yeah,
I kind of want to go back and like catch
and just to show people because like that wow factor is in that movie. You know, like that scene where the English fishing boats and stuff or the British fishing boats come in, and I'm like, that's a great shot. And it was
such a good moment. They play real a full orchestral score right there where they haven't the whole movie.
It was,
and then all of those civilian boats show up, and it's like this really
it was
emotional, man.
It was emotional, and I think again masterful placing by Nolan, by putting it there as like a stress reliever after all this just heavy stress throughout the whole movie. I'm just anxiety and just all this shit. It's crazy, that from that opening scene to when that fleet shows up, and I'm like, oh man, my heart was racing the whole time.
The mixture of the soundtrack, which is just those violins, and it starts in the movie. I think if we could look at the track, you would kind of see the audio build. It's like the whole. He puts that in the back of your head. This concussive sound, and it's just constant.
And that's why it works so well.
It's just it's awful. It's not it's not an enjoyable experience.
No, not at all. Because you don't get any rest period. You know, because the audio is always in your ear. You know, and he's one of the few directors that does that, and
it's so effective.
Yeah, it's so extremely effective. And I also want to give props to him again.
Hans Zimmer too.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer too. But props to him because he is one of the few directors that will take the storytelling approach that he does. You know, a lot of directors would be like, let's take the safe route and just show a linear story.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
And he's he's just an amazing director, and he just knows
editing was incredible.
Yeah,
the editor is
it's just,
the two because usually the director and the editor will sit in a theater and edit a movie.
Yeah, and Christopher Nolan is probably one of the major reasons the Dark Knight trilogy was as good as it's probably not probably the best DC trilogy easily right now. So he's just a gifted dude, and I'm just here knobbing off on his penis right now. Just oh, this is such a great movie. And question for Ian. Yeah. This is a little weird for me. I don't know. I'm not as much as a history buff as you. What's with the equipment for the British Army? Why do they still have bolt action rifles? This is World War II, right?
But the Germans and the British and the French and the Russians all had bolt action.
They all had in World War II, really?
Yeah, all through the whole war.
Fun fact. At the beginning, which I think all of them had, the rifle it shows him have with the kind of top-loading magazine.
The Lee Enfield.
Yeah.
Well,
303 Lee Enfield.
The Lee Enfield or the Mosin Nagant?
Yeah.
As I know is a popular rifle as well.
That was the German.
I have one of those.
Oh, really?
You have a Mosin
Wait,
Nagant?
what
I do.
the fuck?
I swear to God.
Because is it
I have
functional or is it just a problem?
No, I shot it.
How have you never told me that?
Yeah.
You guys don't care about guns.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm the
maybe
biggest
you
history buff in the fucking
Yeah.
that I know in my entire life.
It has a
can we take it out?
what would you call it? Like a synthetic stock? I don't have the wood stock anymore.
Okay.
That's still.
But yeah, I still have a gun.
Wait, is it like so? Is it manufactured as in like for collectors or is it an actual?
No, it is
with World War II.
80 years old.
What
Wow.
the?
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, I can show you. I can
And
pull it
also,
up.
I
Dude.
am into guns.
Yeah.
Totally into
Can
guns.
we fucking shoot that?
Yeah.
Dude.
I shot it like a month ago.
What the fuck?
I don't have a scope for it. You have to get a weird
You don't
scope.
need a scope
Because
the,
well, I
infantry
want it.
didn't use a scope.
Yeah.
But I want a scope, you know
I
what I mean?
know.
Just to have fun with it. But the shells eject from the top,
Yes,
so you
that's
have to
so
get a
fun.
weird scope for it.
Oh, okay,
But
so because it ejects.
like
okay,
one to
yeah.
the side or one that
Yeah,
elevates a little bit higher. But
Dude, that's
Yeah,
so
I have
awesome.
it.
I did not know that. That's
There was
so
there was an attitude in Europe
Yeah.
that and it's funny. It's the same attitude
Yeah.
that the Americans had when they introduced the M16.
Yeah, yeah.
They had the M14 at the time.
Yeah.
There was an attitude at the time of, yeah, your semi-automatic is real fancy.
Yeah, yeah.
But when it gets in the mud,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not going to work.
right.
Okay,
They had a
so
lot
that's
of
why.
problems. Like, in Battlefield 1, those guns that are set, the medics have that are semi-automatic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those guns were in World War One, but
Yeah.
they mainly were for pilots. They did not function in trenches. They clogged up the
dirt and all that.
action. Got a speck of mud in it. Done. And so the Germans and the British and the French and all those guys were like, "I'm not using that shit.
Stick
Like,
with
we're
the
going
bolt,
with
yeah.
reliable." I mean, the Lee Enfield's one of the greatest rifles of all time. I mean,
Yeah. It was just like for me throughout the whole movie. I didn't know that, so throughout the whole movie, I'm like,
thought it was like an inaccuracy?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, wait, are they in World War One? But then they mentioned Churchill. I'm like, wait, and then they have like World War II fighter planes. I'm like, that.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening? I was like, what is
Yeah.
going on?
No, it's definitely World War II. When
Yeah,
we were,
it was like-
us and then eventually the Germans had some other stuff, but
Okay.
we were the M1 Garand. We came in way later in the war
Yeah.
too, so we had more time
Yeah.
to develop and manufacture a
Right.
functioning. They were all just thrown right back.
Yeah, that's
right
what I
into
kind of
the-
figured
yeah.
after a while. I was like, yeah, this is probably like early stages of the
And it was
war.
1940, so it was very
Yeah,
early. In
Yeah,
the
very
war.
early stages of the war. That's crazy.
And if
though.
it had gone the other way, the war would not have been won.
Yeah, because like the French had a just my ignorance is like the French had like a standing army. I was like,
Absolutely.
I was like, whoa, that's weird. And I was
In
like,
fact-
because in history they're portrayed as like resistance group and stuff like that. And I'm
because
like,
they got conquered.
yeah, right, so quickly. And I was like, wow, they had a standing army. I was like, no,
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
weird.
What they didn't show, they
Yeah.
mentioned it, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And they kind of nodded to it in the beginning when the guy passes through the French barricade checkpoint
yeah.
thing. It's like a nod to it.
Yeah.
But that whole time, like that entire time,
Yeah.
an entire French division held off the whole German advance.
Oh
for
yeah,
them to get out.
they mentioned that a couple times.
No one ever talks about it. Like
Yeah.
all we talk about in America is how French are only good for white flags and throwing their guns
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
But in real life, they were all fighting, and there were 35,000 dead or prisoner.
Jesus,
No,
that's
they
crazy.
all died or went in prison.
They
They did not get
that's
saved.
amazing, dude. That's
So,
crazy.
It's that would be a really cool kind of
Yeah.
addition to this movie. Like,
So
Yeah.
have another movie based on the French who were doing the fighting the
Yeah.
whole fucking
That'd be
time as the
kinda cool.
British escaped.
So from a historical accuracy point, was it
It was perfect.
perfect? Really? Oh wow.
It was perfect.
Oh shit.
I mean, I'm sure there
Yeah.
are a few things.
Few,
Like,
yeah.
I'm
oh
not
yeah,
as
minute
picky as
things.
people,
Yeah.
people make me out to be super picky.
Yeah.
I'm really not. Like,
Yeah.
It was like I've read about Dunkirk for a long time,
Yeah.
and I can't.
Yeah. Pick anything out. That
No,
was weird.
not at all.
Dude, that
not
was
even.
awesome.
Not even a little bit. Like
That's crazy.
just go look at pictures. Just put in just look at
Yeah.
old pictures. It's like they just colorized some video of it.
That's crazy.
The lines on the beach and all that,
Yeah.
as they tried to categorize the men by like the different groups and
Yeah.
get them
Yeah,
organized.
because he's at the beginning. He's like, these are grenadiers, and he's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
But so that's really cool, dude. I was blown away at how massive in scale this movie also played on one of my greatest fears, is like fucking drowning. drowning
Oh my
alive.
God.
It's one of my biggest fears.
That moment
ever.
in the mess hall.
Yes,
when they get hit by the torpedo.
Yes.
Some of the camera angles down there where it's like upside down, black. They're underwater. There's guys like hands hitting the. I was freaking out. I'm not even claustrophobic. Or
that was fucking.
Or the oil.
The oil part.
Oil and then it lights on fire. It's just this movie is I would say like if you're listening to this and you haven't seen it yet, the closest comparison I have for it is Black Hawk Down.
Yes. Okay.
There's like the intro to Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
And then it starts.
Yeah.
And it's just
it's
it
nonstop.
never lets up
Oh,
once.
man.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
That's all power to the direction and the editing and the sound. It was just like
now that you mentioned
a visual spectacle. It was a visual audio like spectacle of the film. It didn't need dialogue. It wasn't a character study. It wasn't about an individual.
Yeah.
I liked that they addressed at the end, like a lot of the soldiers were really ashamed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it wasn't just like like victory. They were totally ashamed. They were expecting to be spit on, as he was saying. They're all going to spit on us when we get home, but they didn't. No. They were just so happy to have their boys back.
Yeah.
And then he immediately went back to war right after that.
Yeah, fuck, that's crazy. And just like mentioning Black Hawk Down, I'm like, I am in the mood to watch Black Hawk.
I'm in the mood to just watch war movies now.
I know, dude, that's crazy.
I do think we'll be talking about this one for a long time. I think this will go down.
It's up there. I think like I said, right beneath Saving Private Ryan. And Black
I don't think
Hawk
Saving
Down.
Private Ryan will ever be eclipsed. Even if there's a movie that maybe is like better, it's just all of these movies were born from that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's worthy of Saving Private
sure.
Ryan.
Yeah.
It's worthy of that legacy. It's going right into my collection for sure. Like day one buying that.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's great. I
love it. It's hard for me to even like. I want to keep talking about it, but I just don't. It could not have been any longer.
Yeah.
Either. I was worried. 107 minutes is short. Not when you're basically drowning the whole film.
Yeah. God damn.
Everyone is drowning the whole movie.
Yeah, it didn't feel short at any point.
No.
You know what I mean? Through the whole movie, you're like, all right, when does the good stuff happen?
Yeah.
And then it just never does.
Right? Fuck. You were waiting for like a victory.
Ship after ship, everyone's getting destroyed.
It was so weird for for them to be like called cowards. You know, like how like they're like because the guys on the beach would be like, "You cowards are the ones that are leaving first." You know, like I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "That's crazy, man."
Yeah.
But in almost all the scenes, one thing that always prevailed is they always looked after each other. Like like regardless of whatever differences they had, like they're like, you're a British soldier, I'm a British soldier, I'm gonna still pull you up on this boat.
Yeah, they're pulling each other up, and there's a few times where they're like, you can't, you're gonna capsize our little rowboat, guys. That desperation of those guys wanting to get out of that.
But they still got pulled back and stuff. They gave them that rope to hold on.
And just the civilians that like all those. I love that's. One of my favorite scenes in the movie when those civilian boats come and you see all these like fishermen and stuff coming to the fucking rescue.
That was really good.
It was so
that
good.
Torpedo scene was a really good scene too.
Yeah.
It was scary, dude. I was like, because it was like just like pitch black, and then you see like this wave in the water, like a shark fin wave. Torpedo. It was like, it was awesome.
And you had the one guy who like wouldn't go down in the mess hall and just chill.
That guy.
He knew what was
because
going
he knew
on.
something was going to happen.
Yeah. Plus, was that the French guy?
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
So he didn't want to go talk to a bunch of. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Shit,
Spoilers. I mean, if you're listening to this, basically go watch it. You're gonna. There's a ton of spoilers that we've already said. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, but yeah, go fucking see it.
Go see it if you're into just. Wonderful direction and editing and sound.
Next
like
time,
a technical masterpiece.
Next time, within the first minute, we should just give them our go see it, wait, or don't see it. Just and then we'll be like spoilers, and then go into the details and stuff like that. So,
do you want to do like a little spoiler thing now, like of some of the ending results at all?
Yeah, I mean, sure, that's fine with me. Yeah. So if you are listening to this and you haven't seen the movie, and you don't want to get it spoiled, tune out.
Yep.
But also leave a like and comment.
Please.
Yes. And so, okay, what were you going to say?
Well, there weren't a ton of there's nothing that would really ruin this movie if it's spoiled. Mm-hmm. But well, the French guy we were talking about, like you kind of figured that out, like when he wasn't he wasn't talking. Did you guys think that was the case, or what were you thinking, like when he just kept refusing to speak that in that?
I thought he was just kind of like the other guy's shell shocked, you know, like he just wasn't gonna talk to anybody.
Yeah, and then the guy accused him of being a German spy, and I was like, I don't get that vibe.
No,
never got
that guy was just freaking out.
Yeah, I thought he was just freaking out the whole time.
Oh yeah, that whole group, by the way, in that little tugboat was freaking out, and it was kind of scary. Like they were like turning on each other.
Imagine that though, a bunch of like 18, 17, 19-year-olds. They're all fucking stuck together. No one knows what to do. Yeah.
And then the Germans started shooting that tugboat.
I was like, practicing
oh, yeah, I was like, what, can things get any worse? And then the water starts coming in.
Just the whole movie was just one thing after another.
Yeah, I was like, they're like, plug the holes. And then I was like, with what, like your fingers?
Yeah, they're all covering it with their hands and stuff, just getting shot.
Yeah, it's like, oh, man. But yeah, that was a great scene. But honestly, nothing beats those like RAF scenes where like those fighter pilots.
I know.
There was nothing but like everything was so just like when it went to first person, I was like I felt like I was playing a game. Like you know when they went to the reticle, it's just like
the reticle,
and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool.
And more props to the sound design there because like they go to the reticle, and you're hearing all the parts of the plane.
Yeah.
So like it's not it's rickety as fuck. You know, they're meant to be flexible as they fly, so they move around, you know, inside. And I just loved how rickety it was. It wasn't smooth at all.
Yeah.
And he wasn't some badass ace. It's really fucking hard to hit another plane in the sky while moving.
A lot. Yeah. He missed a lot.
And those bullets don't go, they get pushed by wind and direction and all this, and I love that was like
part of the movie.
It was super realistic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was my favorite parts.
And just there's so many little parts now that I'm even thinking like when the pilot's stuck in there and he can't get out. And the water's filling up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's just
I really dug that
or
captain.
The kid.
Yeah,
I was gonna say who got pushed and
just such a small thing.
Yeah, and then the son of the captain told him that he'll be fine. Like he wanted to spare the guy that was already like just shook to the fucking core.
Yeah, he could have been like, no, you motherfucker, you killed him. But now he's like, this guy's already.
If he had said that, he would probably like flip that.
The guy would have killed himself, or jumped overboard or something.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah,
because he's just a normal guy.
Yeah.
And that was so cool though how that film worked. I was confused a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, it was just nighttime.
Yeah.
And then we're back to the planes. And it's day. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then you see Cillian Murphy on the rowboat. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was last night.
Yeah. I noticed that.
It took a minute for me.
As soon as the planes, like the three planes, started fighting over the minesweeper, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that's them.
I love when that clicks into place. That's so satisfying.
Yeah.
I like that Christopher Nolan and the people who made the film don't insult our intelligence.
Yeah.
They assume we're gonna get that as we watch it.
Yeah.
Which is really nice to just not have everything just given to you. A.
Yeah.
B.
Yeah.
C. It's like figure
exactly
this out,
not like a linear line. So I appreciate that a lot.
Tom Hardy's character gets taken prisoner.
It's taken prisoner by the Germans at the end. The first time you see a German soldier.
Yeah.
The entire
Not
movie.
even his face, just like a helmet.
Yeah, kind of just like a helmet. And he's gone.
And just that perfect, you know.
Oh, you know, it's
like,
so
that's
dark and
it's
got the weird.
helmet. I was like,
and the only monologue in the film, which I think was a perfect way to end that movie, is that famous speech by Winston Churchill about fighting in the hills and on the beaches and in the woods and on just the classic Winston Churchill speech, which was inspired by that event. So he just and then that weird cut. So he gets taken prisoner.
Yeah.
And there's a weird 4-second cut back to the soldier kid that we were following.
Yeah. Then he's just like,
and then that was a weird cut.
I didn't know what that was supposed to mean.
I guess he was done reading it or something. I don't know. And then it just
cut. Yeah, it just ended. Yeah.
That's it. You know, they just wanted to throw us all into a meat grinder for a little bit, and then just drop us out.
Pull you out.
Yeah, I know. Right?
So I don't know if you guys want to do this, but if you were rating 1 through 10, like we do our games, what would you give?
It's so 10 being 10 Godfather,
being Godfather, Saving Private Ryan, the best movies of all time.
Yeah. I would give this a solid. Are we doing intervals of 5?
Oh yeah. Okay, just like our
game. 8.5. I would do an 8.5 for sure. A solid.
That's a
solid
high ass score.
Yeah, it's a solid 8.5 for sure. No questions whatsoever. That's an 8.5. There's no doubt in my mind that it's a really really good war movie.
Worthy of an Oscar.
Yeah, absolutely. I would think so.
Several Oscars.
Absolutely. What about you, Mason?
Yeah, I would say like 7.5 or an 8 if we're doing halves as well. I think it is. It hopefully will be something people remember for a long time, and I think it took us on a really good journey that we're going to be talking about for a while. And like Ian said, he'll probably pick it up day one. I'm sure we'll watch it again once he does.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it in theater.
That's what we do. But no, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
What about you?
I'm with you. 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5.
8.5. Because like 9, there's only a couple 9s.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, I feel like that's why I'm saying like I feel like Saving Private Ryan is like a solid 10.
Yeah.
Black Hawk Down 9.
Yeah, I would say Black Hawk Down's a 9. There's probably a couple. Band of Brothers is a 9.
Yeah.
A few other ones in there. But like, I mean, that's as close. You can't really. It's brushing 9. Like, I was thinking in my first, I was like 9.
Yeah.
I said 9, and then as I heard you guys talk about, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do 8.5 just because I feel like just its nature.
Yeah.
Like it's not meant to be a movie that's going to stick around for generations as this story that enwraps us all.
Yeah.
It's more of like an experience that that you go through and you kind of go through it.
But yeah, because no one can latch on to a character like
exactly.
Saving Private Ryan.
It's more of a technically it's a 10.
Yeah.
From a point of view of camera and lighting and music and sound, all direction, all that stuff, editing, that's all 10. But just like, when we look back on it 10 years, like you said, Mason, I do think it will be counted in there, though. It's a modern war classic.
To put it in perspective, War Horse, just random rating out there, War Horse, remember that little one with little Joey?
Oh, I absolutely remember War Horse. I own War Horse.
I would give that, maybe I have to rewatch it, but from watching it that one time, and it's actually very memorable because for some reason I was really hyped for that movie, and then watching it I was very disappointed. I was like, this is a Disney movie, So I would have given that, like, in perspective, a 6 or 5 or 6.
I was thinking 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5.
Because the middle was really good.
Yes, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So in perspective, it's definitely up there in the upper echelons of war movies. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Go see it. Please go support this movie. We want more war movies. I want more historical movies out there.
Yeah.
I feel like this might kind of reignite, just like Gladiator did for all those historical movies that came after it in 2000. Like, it really got that going.
Yeah.
I feel like Dunkirk hopefully will be a bit of a spark.
I hope it will be, but it's just really bad placement for it to come out this time because there's a lot of good movies coming out right now. So
have you seen Rotten Tomatoes? It's got a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, that's crazy. That's really, really good. It's just that although we may like it as like I would say that we're not film critics, but we're like more into films than the average person.
We're like film buffs.
Buffs, yeah. Okay, there you go, film buffs. But the average person
and my film buff apprentice.
Thanks.
I didn't mean that in a mean way.
No, that's good.
The average person, the other movies that are out right now, Spider-Man, right?
Yep.
Just it's hard to be competing against Spider-Man because that's just gonna get everybody.
I feel like everyone's gonna go to Spider-Man, and then I don't think those really overlap.
No, they don't overlap, but just like competing as in like gross,
just straight
right now, yeah. And then what comes out today? Valerian. Valerian.
That came out today.
That came out today, but
it looks like vomit all over a screen. I'll see it and be an open mind, but when I saw the trailer, it was like, I have 6 migraines.
So Valerian came out today, and then Thor Ragnarok comes out next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Wow. What a summer.
It's been a great year for films. And I
have to see Spider-Man still.
Yeah. So, Thor Ragnarok comes out, and then after that, there's another movie that comes out the week after that. I don't remember what right now, but... So it's hard. It's going to be hard for him, but I think it's going to be competing up there in the top 3 for sure.
Yeah, I think the immensely positive critical reception will get people in theaters.
Yeah, I think so too.
Whether or not they liked it when they're there.
Yeah,
I mean, it just depends on what you're expecting.
Yeah.
And if you're expecting what we got, which I was kind of glad that I read some reviews because I was like, okay, it's like a Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
Just fucking go movie.
Yeah.
I was in the right mindset for that, and it did not disappoint me at all. I didn't feel disappointed. One bit. I don't know about you guys at all.
Like, no, I didn't feel disappointed. No. It was just...
It did exactly what I thought it would do.
Exactly.
I'm with Mason. It did exactly what I thought it would do. So
sweet. Please go see this film, guys. We want to hear your thoughts. I would love to have a conversation, about whether it's about the movie or history. Of course, I'm always down for that. So share your thoughts, share the video, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And stick around for we're going to be together again for Monday for the Game of Thrones reaction. So
probably
we'll
Tuesday if we're doing the Zero HP podcast as well.
Yeah.
So
just a bunch of stuff coming up.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Peace.
Later.